Welcome to Every Album Ever with Mike and Alex. My name is Michael Mansour. I'm joined as always by my lovely, wonderful, wearing a Lakers hat, co-host Alexander Volz. Say hello.
Aloha.
Aloha. This is Every Album Ever, the podcast where we listen to every single album in the world, one artist at a time. That's a new discography, more or less, per episode. And today we are talking about
Drive Like Jehu.
I think it's Jehu.
Jehu.
Jehu. I looked up like 4 or 5 different pronunciations, and they all kind of revolved around Jehu.
That's more than I did, which I should have done.
It was bothering me to no end to figure out how to pronounce the name. I've heard everything. I've heard Yehu. I've heard because it's a Hebrew. It's a Hebrew word, and
yes.
all in ancient Hebrew, Y's were J sounds. Jehovah, spelled with a Y.
Oh yeah.
So I think people thought it was Yehu, but I think it's Jehu.
Jehu.
Also, this is every album ever. Yeah, if you want to support us, I'm sure you do. Subscribe on YouTube.com/every album ever. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, tell your friends, all this stuff. You can do that. Please do that for the love of God. You can follow me on Instagram at Pope Jesse Ventura and Alex
At Mother Puncture,
where you can stay up to date with the artists that we are currently covering. I post stories and all that, yada, yada, yada. If you want to send any emails, suggestions for artists, hate, love, maybe some commenting on the current artists that we're covering, you could send everything you want to everyalbumever@gmail.com. As always, there will be a Spotify playlist on Drive Like Jehu. There should be a link in the description of wherever you're listening or watching. We got playlists associated with every single episode, so please listen to those at everyalbumever.com or on Spotify directly. All good stuff. But
yes,
this is going to be a 10-minute episode.
I think we got 45 in us minimum.
Okay, all right. I it's an optimistic but realistically optimistic.
Yeah, and I should say, this wasn't a request, but Robbie Westerberg requested Rocket from the Crypt, and these bands are kind of linked together.
Yeah.
Well, not kind of, they are. It's all John Reese.
All John Reese. It's not Rick. What's his face? The singer, the main singer.
Rick Froberg. No,
Yeah.
it's all John Reese.
Okay.
So we decided this is shorter, cleaner. We're gonna do this. Hold on to your butts. Rocket from the Crypt we'll get there. And it's in there. It's coming, Robbie.
It's a thing that's more a sign of my neuroses than Alex's, where I like to do things in chronological order always. So even includes bands that we do. Like I insisted on covering Minor Threat before Fugazi, even though Fugazi was requested first.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a thing I like. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. They started at the same time.
That's right.
But I think this because Rocket had a longer career. It does make more sense to do.
It does seem like Drive was a really brief, like a star that shone too bright for its own good. It died out quickly.
Way
band.
Way too ahead of their time.
Oh, it's insane. And this is a band. They reunited a few years ago. I remember when that happened, and I was super
I feel like an idiot for not.
So do I. But the thing is, it was at a time where I was really over going to shows, and I was really, really overpaying a lot for shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was not even gonna hear it.
Yeah.
So like my drummer at the time, I think he went to them and he was like bragging about it. And he went to all the shows that I missed when they reunited, like Jizz Lizard, which I'll never forgive myself for missing that one. I think at the drive-in as well, like all the ones that you should definitely not miss because you don't have no idea if they're ever going to come back. Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Drive Like Jehu was definitely one of those, and it sucks, but
goddamn.
It's also a band that I discovered not late, but not late.
Yeah, I discovered them late. I was definitely listening to them when the reunion was happening. I don't know. This couldn't work up
the chutzpah. It's also I didn't even hear the first album until way after the second album, like way after. So this is the first time I really fucking gave a thorough listen to the first album, like repeatedly.
Interesting.
I mean, we're not going to be saying anything fucking out of what's already been said. They're a good band. They're really, really, it fucking had no business existing when they existed.
Mm-hmm.
Really influential. And I remember thinking this when I first heard them so much that I have heard so many bands that wish they were this band.
Yes.
And they just nowhere close to how good they were. Really.
And you can hear a lot of bands in Jehu. Man, most people love that At the Drive-In album, Relationship of Command. This is like laying the groundwork for Relationship of Command. And at the time, emo in the 90s, emo was not even close to what it was today.
No.
Like Rites of Spring and Drive, that was considered emo.
Same with Embrace, who I'll never stop mentioning. I'll never stop mentioning Embrace.
And it somehow got twisted and turned into this monster, this freakish, awful genre. But
it became a Cronenberg type thing for sure.
Yeah, so very like interesting, all the genres they have their fingers in, also like math rock, some noise stuff. It's one of the best stews.
That's one thing about Drive that I really love. Their mathiness never comes across as brainy. No. You're never trying to figure it out. It's just complicated, but you just it isn't. It's not like it's never forcing it down your throat or anything. Yeah, it's never doing it for the sake of doing it. Never. It always complements the song very well. It's always perfectly fits in the song. And one thing that's really unique to this band, that another thing that everyone tried to copy that I think did not land with everyone else, is so they do a lot of guitar interplay, two guitar players, always doing two different things at once. And if you just isolate one of them, it's fucking nonsense. They're hitting just wrong notes and just fucking, like, it sounds like they're fucking up. Yet for some reason, it just mixes well. It's it's like what Fugazi did, but way more. It's angrier. It's angry. It's way more like almost like a caveman version of Fugazi. It's not really like musical. It's more noisy. They're more noise rock than anything else. But it's just weird, like Three Stooges situation. We just cram it all together and it fucking sounds amazing. It's just, everyone's so good, but if you take something out individually, it'll sound like cacophony. It'll sound like ass. Interesting. I'm gonna keep an ear out for that next time I listen to them. It's very interesting stuff. Yeah, the technical proficiency of them is just crazy. While doing research, I noticed a lot of critics would compare them to like an orchestra or a symphony. And that's kind of like a cool lens to. Wait, how so? How would they do that? It's fucking blowhards. The way they build up their songs and deconstruct and like. So the way in my brain, like I didn't think about this until researching for this episode. Drive Like Jehu is in my brain the noise rock ISIS. They're just the masters of building up a thing using one bass line, one motif, one kind of musical idea, and then we're just going to keep layering and we're going to throw a bunch of shit on there and we're going to change the guitar line completely so that now it has a different feel. Bass line still hasn't changed, but now the song feels differently. It's fucking so smart. It's funny because they cite Slint, The Wipers, and Noi and Sonic Youth as influences, and I can hear like, you take all those bands and you put them in a blender, and this is exactly absolutely what it comes out. It's really wonderful because like you can kind of get, if you listen to like a little bit of their music, you kind of get this idea that they're this really noisy, all the time angry, pissed off. But when they dip low, when they go quiet, it's or when they go melodic, it's rare, but it's like, oh, whoa. Whew. Oh, goddamn, this band is really impressive. And one more really unique thing about them, I think anyway, is Rick's voice is just one of a kind. I really love his voice. He's one of the most like diverse singers ever, and he's playing rhythm guitar too. Yeah. And it, like when you listen to it, you're like, oh, it's probably like they probably have a dedicated singer because it's so intense. Yeah. But this dude's playing guitar while singing. Yeah, yeah. And his voice, it's like he forever sounds 19 and pissed off. He has that. It's really high. It's really raspy, I guess. He's mostly screaming, but it's always just really, really high, honest. But I can't imagine another voice fitting with this style more. Like if you had like a guttural dude on this, it would be like kind of, or if a dude trying to sing clean through this kind of music, it just wouldn't. It's just the perfect voice for it.
I guess you could, and the evolution went whiny. Yeah,
the evolution did go whiny. It for sure. So this is like, man, everything I love about this style. God damn it. I'm getting too ahead of myself. I'm going to start gushing for like forever. But I don't know. What other bands from this era could even be compared to these guys?
I don't know, because this was like grunge was happening. And these guys just said, no, we're going to do, I guess, unique for the time, because I feel like the phrase is kind of a little overdone, but it's so interesting. They like watching, or in hindsight, like grunge is going to blow up. Mm-hmm. And these guys are like, we're just going to like take this form of punk rock and garage rock, and this is how we hear it. And
it's super complex without, again, not being brainy or abrasive, or it's abrasive, but it's not like it's not like it doesn't come across to the mind as like experimental annoyingness.
Yeah, if you hear someone listening to this, you don't think like it's not like a Dream Theater thing where like, oh, they're a snob.
Oh right, yeah, it's not. These feel like honest dudes.
Yeah.
That are just way too talented for like anyone. Like, how these guys have no business being this talented. Mm-hmm.
AllMusic called them the most progressive post-hardcore band.
That's also that's probably accurate, even though I don't like agreeing with AllMusic or any critics really. But like I think of like No One's No. That's like a band like it doesn't sound anything like them, but it's like the closest thing you could think of. Like, yeah, they have that punk spirit, but they're just really complicated and they're really talented. But these guys there's something really, really, there's like a fire.
Yeah.
And I feel like that fire didn't even translate to the bands like Hot Snakes. I love Hot Snakes, but I don't think
it's not the same.
It's Rick, right? Rick's his band afterward.
No, it's
definitely Rick singing.
Two of them are in Hot Snakes. Hold on.
I'm going to Google it as well.
I know Reese is in Hot Snakes and Rocket. Yeah, Rick is in Hot Snakes.
Yeah, and then the Obits as well, I think, is his other band.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're fine bands, I do like Hot Snakes a lot. At least like the first few albums. They're cool, but there was like I don't know, like I'm not gonna say the term lightning in a bottle, I swear to God. But I'm thinking it when I think of Drive.
Just say it.
No.
It was, because this was 91, 94, and it sounds more like 2000 to 2010.
Yeah. Holds up. Timeless. But we might as well start before we keep like padding the episode with like gushing and stuff.
I feel like we were very informative right now.
Yeah. We have two albums, like we said. The first one, like he just said right now, literally 91. First one, last one was 94. And let's get into it. This is the self-titled debut, Drive Like Jehu.
I love this song.
Covered by the old Deftones.
That's right.
Yeah. I hope people are rolling their eyes how we're gushing. It's just this. Like, yeah, this is the whole album, guys.
You just fade it. There we go.
Produced like a fucking beast, too. It sounds great.
Man, it's like there's so many different parts already.
Yeah.
It has that really Albini-esque quality to it. Like this riff, this is such a total shellac riff.
Oh yeah, like obviously they listen to shellac and slant and
of course. Yeah, it really it gives me a lot of touch and go vibes. Touch and go records for anybody who's confused by that statement.
Oh, I hate you.
So good. Dude, beat that chorus. I fucking dare you. That's a fucking... Oh, man,
That song is good.
Dude.
Holy shit. By the way, worst album.
Oh, we're doing...
It's like, no, there's no worst album. This is just my lesser favorite.
Okay. Yeah, I think this one's like... If we're Sophie's choice here, I would pick this one over.
Really? You picked this one? You're fucking high, dude. You're fucking high.
Yeah, because general consensus is the next one is the best. But I don't know. There's this something real charming about this, and it's like just feels fresh to me every time I listen to it.
That's the complete opposite for me. So the only reason, I mean, this is a great fucking album. This is fantastic shit. But the reason why I go for the other one over this one is because I hear the influences in this album. The next one, it's like, oh, this is just their own band. This is Drive.
Okay.
This one, I hear Fugazi a lot in this album.
Yeah.
A lot.
I don't mind it. Like I said, I think it's a nice stew. I think Mark Trombino, beast of a drummer.
Oh yeah, he's incredible.
Like a crime that he really only played drums
for this band.
I mean, he went on, getting ahead of myself. He went on to have a very successful producing and mixing career.
Multi-platinum. Holy shit.
Yes. So he did fine.
He did real good.
He did real good after the band, but he's so fucking talented.
Yeah. Yeah. And an interesting drummer more than anything. Like you can throw all the fucking drum rolls you want at me, but if it's like we're gonna talk about it,
make beats.
And it's we're gonna talk about it more when we cover the band. But I think Matt Cameron from Soundgarden is one of the most inventive arrangers and percussionists of all time.
Yeah,
like you can. So the thing about Drive that I like a lot, if you were to just isolate the drums, that would be a song. That's how fucking intricate and fascinating these arrangements are.
I agree. Like, you could, except for the guitars, like you said. And then they're just so good at making like interesting noise too. Like when we get to spikes for you, I don't know what the correct term is, but I'm going to use a pack of bees because I think it sounds funny.
Isn't it swarm?
Oh, yeah. No.
I got a pack of bees here.
Yeah, I'm like, I should look this up. It's not coming to me. I know it's not a pack of bees, but it sounds funny. But so I pulled it up. Here we go. A pack of bees. Maybe I had the wrong timestamp. I hit myself, but my window might have closed on the.
Huh?
My window might have closed. I might have done the wrong timestamp.
Wrong timestamp? It's still a great song.
But yeah, that noisy guitar solo, wherever it is.
Well, I mean, that's actually one of the few short songs on this entire album. It's like 2 minutes.
Super short.
And that's another thing about this band that's a very fascinating little thing. They can go long. They go long.
And it never feels long.
Never, ever.
Not one song was I like, wrap it up.
Yeah. Dude, my favorite song on the album is Oh Pencil Sharp. And that's literally almost 10 minutes long.
Also, it's like bookended by almost like shit you normal like.
So that's another.
That's like the Stooges episode where it's like stuff you would normally hate.
Yeah,
it works for you in this band.
So the thing about that song is like there's a lot of fat on there in the beginning and ends because it's like so much damn near silence building into the song. But I don't. It's so many fucking cool parts on it, and like, but
it's really
that is a thing I do have a problem with in this whole album is how oddly it is paced. I could see. I can like.
Oh, I disagree. I think it's
really.
Yeah.
I feel like I get what they're trying to do with like the long pauses and the long like build-ups and intros and outros and all that.
I think, yeah, like the first 3 tracks are pretty high energy, and then you get like this epically long pencil sharp, and then you're kind of fatigued from that. And then Adam Jack just goes, "Hey, motherfucker," and punches you in the face.
Yep, one and done. I do appreciate the hell out of that. They're actually really good at that in both albums. They do that really well. Where it's like, all right, you sat through this, motherfucker. Here's a little break. Yeah, little quick, little 2-3 minute guy, and then we're back to being, big old epics. I think the weakest song for me is, I feel like you are probably gonna hate me. "Step on Chameleon."
I don't hate you. Yeah, I think that's fair. The main course is the like nicest sounding music you'll hear.
It's pretty poppy.
And I could see how that helped pave the way for emo.
For sure it did. And it's almost an anomaly in the band. Like they don't do a whole lot of stuff like that. So I was like, this is a very interesting little thing. Also, what's his fucking name? John is singing like the verse part of that song. He sounds a lot like a Damaged era Henry Rollins.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He does a lot of things that remind you of like a lot of different singers, and it's just a pretty unique voice.
That's like the only song he sings on.
Like Nice Speed?
No.
Or sorry, like Clean Singing?
No, John.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the only song he sings lead on.
Okay.
Yeah. Rick,
John's guitar player, Rick is.
It says that he does. I've read that he does like backup, but you can never tell. But I was like, who the fuck is this Henry Rollins sounding motherfucker? But that song, it's like it's not even close to the longest song on here, but it's the only one that drags for me. The poppy stuff is fine. It's all fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but these guys are better than fine. So it really does stick out to me. The actual that riff, that whole poppy chorus thing, it really reminds me. It's like the most 90s sounding thing they've ever done.
For sure.
Because they're such a timeless sounding band. It sounds like, you ever heard the band Hum?
No.
Oh boy. Fucking Hum. Man. They had like one hit. They're a cool band, and I listened to like one album a lot, but they are a one-trick pony if I ever fucking heard it. It's total 90s indie. It's fine for what it is. If you're in the mood for it, it's going to scratch that itch. But it really reminded me of that. I was like, oh,
interesting.
Yeah, but
my personal favorite track on here is If It Kills You.
Great. Killer.
There's like this high pitch thing in the beginning. I don't know if it's guitar. Mark, the drummer, just amazing again. And then I think that's like the strongest track for Rick. Like his singing is just really? The twists and turns on that song.
That breakdown halfway through is.
And it all happens so fast, and it's so flawless. And
it's 7 minutes, and I had to look up that it was that long because it never felt that long.
Yeah,
it's like, at least with Pencil Sharp, like you can tell it's a long fucking song because of the intro and outro. But that one, it's like they're really good at holding your attention throughout these long fucking things. Like, because there's not like a what is it, riff salad? That's the term. Where it's not constantly changing every few seconds. It's just one constant thing that's slowly.
And they like revisit things. Like you're never going to be like, oh, that's a cool riff, and not hear it again.
Yeah. No. If you like something, good, because it's very satisfying in that respect.
Also, I think talking about it, I think another reason I like this one more is. Like all my notes, I have something about like the drums. So I think this because the drumming is more memorable. I'm going to say memorable. It's not better or worse between the albums, But to me, the drumming is just so much way more memorable. Like, Turn It Off. There's insane stuff going on there.
Great ups and downs.
Yeah, even when the band goes mellow, Mark's still at an 11.
Yeah.
It's
I really
such
noted,
a good song.
I really noted it on Future Home Psycho Monstrosity. Drums, I think it's a weak closer, especially considering we have shit like If It Kills You and A Pencil Sharp. But that dude is going ham on those drums. He's going crazy.
Man, like I said, a crime. I mean, I hope he got paid.
Even if he didn't, he's fine.
Yeah, I know he's fine, but like, oh man, what he could have, other drumming he could have done. But I will say also, like, yeah, Stucco, it's like you're hearing all this new stuff and it's almost like it may be a better album if they left Stucco off of it.
Yeah.
Because like you're so amped and you've heard I don't want to say all their tricks, but you're very familiar with the band.
It gets samey toward the end.
It does. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Samey.
That's exactly another reason why I thought it was weaker. Toward the end, I was like, it doesn't. I'm starting to feel the length of it. It's not that they're getting boring, but it's definitely the novelty of like, well, what's going to happen next has worn off because they started repeating it. And that's another thing with the pacing that I had. Like, why wouldn't you end it with one of your fucking you have plenty of epic songs. And that's the thing that I think they fixed on the next album. They started like, it sounds like someone came in and was like, this is how the album should flow. This is where this should go. This is where this should. And it's like, it seems like even this album is still really well thought out in that respect. Cause like it literally starts out slow, gets longer, peaks at the longest song and then gets shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter as it goes on.
Yeah.
So it has this like, fucking almost bell curve to it. In terms of the song lengths and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to sum up the album in a very technical.
Yeah. Sorry. But this is a great album. I highly recommend it. Alex's preferred. And it'd be his best if they had more things. But now let's move on to the one probably more known, I would say. This is 1994's Yank Crime.
Talk about bangers of songs.
This was the first Drive song I ever heard. I was like, do I like this? And it took about 30 seconds for me to realize, yeah, I like this.
I think that's a fair reaction. That's kind of how I felt towards like proper like original emo. Like, because it's such a dirty word when I was younger that anything
remotely close to it was.
I always second.
You're a big old mo if you listen to that.
Yeah. Like even like at the drive-in, or like Go On to Love, I was like, wait.
I would say even the emo that's mostly bad, I'd say there's still something to grab onto there. There's still some stuff that I wouldn't mind listening to. Unfortunately, God, that's a great fucking riff. And that guitar, it's just scraping. There's no riff there. It's just scraping.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a riff. The dude just scraping the guitar is a riff. It's very Fugazi, but even more noisy.
Amazing.
So this is, oh man, this is a fucking noise rock masterpiece. I adore this album.
It's weird. I think the first, not that this one's not technical, but I'm going to give the slight edge to technical stuff in the first one. I feel like they kind of went in reverse because usually bands get more brutal and then they get a little crazier. Yeah. And this is like, this got more brutal. It
is, in terms of the writing, simpler. It is simpler.
Yes.
However,
that does not mean it's worse.
No, it's also, this is the album where I feel like they're the noise rock ISIS because, all right, we're going to do one riff for 7 minutes, but it's not going to get boring and things are going to keep happening things are going to keep getting introduced and removed and brought back and returned to. And like, do you compute? Oh my God.
Oh, man.
It's just the one bass line for how long is the fucking song? Long, super long.
7 minutes, 12 seconds.
Yeah, it does not even a little bit feel like that. That is,
dude,
expert buildup.
I love the intro to that song. We talked about it a little earlier. That's one of the songs where they go pretty for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of wish it was the whole song or more of it.
Right.
Because it's so good. But then, yeah, this gets punishing again. And it is just a great song.
And also, so it does, like that first track is pretty not indicative of the whole album, because it's like, it's not super short, it's not super long, it's really ugly. It's like that main riff is really ugly. And it has moments where it gets kind of pretty here and there. It has a lot of ups and downs. But then as soon as Do You Compute comes on, it's like, oh, they're just a whole different, they're way beyond.
Yeah,
oh,
the last thing I'll say about Here Comes the Rome Plows. We're talking about how influential it is. I could hear like how the Blood Brothers love.
I forgot about that band.
Yeah.
With fucking Haley Joel Osment singing. He's a little chubby dude with red hair.
I don't know what they look like now. I saw them and when they were young.
Oh, okay.
I can tolerate them, but the whiny vocal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call them full on emo, but
No.
they can be fun. They play some brutal stuff. They're not awful, but
right.
I can hear how much they love this album.
The first time I ever heard them was when I saw them live. I got a free ticket. I'm like, oh, fine, I don't care. And I was like, oh, all right, they're fine. They're not really my bag. I'm sure I would appreciate more if I got like some alone time with the music, but vocals can be a little abrasive. Very whiny. No, it's not full on whiny, but it's very in the Cedric vein of like, just at 10, super high all the time. Golden Brown is a perfect example of all right, you sat through the big epic. Here's a short little palate cleanser right there. Just kick your ass real quick. And then Luau.
That song.
Luau.
Even without hearing that song, like just looking at the lyrics, is insane. It's a subject that's not really covered in rock music.
What's it about?
It's about the westernization of Hawaii.
Interesting.
And I was this like, like you don't. I just want to say you don't hear that in rock music.
Never heard it
covered.
Yeah.
And this band that sounds nothing like Hawaii and
bunch of fucking white kids.
Really. Yeah. And it's just like this kind of like indulgent, like murder fantasy of like all the locals is beating the shit out of the tourist and like
it's fucking hilarious. That's a great visual.
Yeah.
I mean, not literally, but like for a theme, for a song lyrically, I think that's fucking hilarious.
So yeah, I was just kind of taken aback, like who does that? And then who does, like, if you were, I wouldn't expect it from this genre of music.
No. But musically, it's not literally 3 notes for 9 minutes, but it's damn near it. It's damn near 3 chromatic notes. But oh my god, the dips, the fucking peaks and valleys, the way, and then that oh god, it's just so much happening. I can't even begin to explain. It's like it's the ultimate build-up song. It's just so much build-up, and the payoffs really do rival what I get from listening to ISIS. Like the payoffs, like
I agree.
My god, like you knew it was coming, and when it gets there, it's
all right. Let's hope I have my timestamp correct on this song. The fucking math rocky part.
For which?
Luau.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna start it on like the brutal part so people get an idea of like it starts here, and then when it hits like the math rock part, like fuck, that's good. 3 minutes of 10 minutes of here.
Yeah. And I really do love the vocals, that vocal hook. It's Rick and another guy who's not in the band singing on this one. It's Rob Crow. I fucking love this so much. I can listen to this all fucking day.
This is gonna end up listening.
Yeah. Oh god. Oh, I love it so much. Yeah, that's
Rob Crow, who's in like a bunch of bands I never heard of, but it's him and Rick singing that fucking really, really catchy hook. There's like every song. Now I don't want to be that guy that says every song can be dissected, but like God, there's like a lot of things.
Well, you kind of have to with 2 albums.
I know, I suppose so, but yeah, I don't know how you can do fucking 9 minutes of that and it just never gets old. And the same thing can be said with Super Unison, which comes on directly after, and it's 7 minutes, and it's again, you have no idea it's that long.
Well, from what I read, that's like what everyone thinks is the best song on this album.
What?
Super Unison.
Really?
For whatever reason.
I mean, it's fantastic. I think it's fucking incredible. I love it, but I don't know if it's the best.
I'm not in charge here.
Yeah.
I mean, I am, but
So one thing I love about that song, so it starts out good, keeps elaborating like we keep saying, and it gets better as it goes on. But they do this thing where there's a breakdown at 4 minutes in, and that breakdown is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's really subdued. It has like that cool little quiet drum roll as they're doing the melody on top of it. But at 2 minutes in, they tease that breakdown. So like when you've already heard the song a million times, it just does this weird thing for me where it teases it. I know it's coming. And because it doesn't go into it, it gets me more amped. Like, I can't wait till they go into it. I can't wait till they fucking go into it. It's a great song. Great fucking song. Like little arrangement choices like that are really fucking smart to just tease apart.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then they do the smart thing where like there's kind of some fatigue. A new intro just is great breather. It's just a nice instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get an appropriate titled New Math, and that's just signature Jehu craziness.
Yeah.
Just all over the place.
A lot. Those songs really do sound like working titles that never got really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I've been there. I've done that countless times.
Well, I think like maybe more in hindsight, like New Math is like.
Maybe.
It really works for the band.
Like a meta type thing.
Yeah.
For sure. But I remember the days of being in a band and every single new song had the word new in front of it with like some form of adjective after it. But yeah, and the thing about new intro is not, it's like, first of all, their only instrumental song, pretty much. Mm-hmm. But it's just like the most subdued song in the whole album. It's the quietest. It doesn't really go crazy ever. It's like just the perfect palate cleanser. Really, really does a great job. And that's what I think. That's why I think the pacing of this album is one of the best in like all of noise rock. It's 50 something minutes, 55 minutes or around there. And it never feels like it. And I have such a fucking bias against long albums. Like you pass 40 minutes for me, I'm already like looking for reasons to not like you, but I never feel it.
Sinews. That is the intro is the most beautiful,
incredible intro.
I'm sorry if you're gonna play any of these songs, but I'm just gonna.
I mean, we have so little to pick from.
Yeah. I wish this did a full pretty song.
I mean, that's kind of what new intro is.
Yeah, but
this intro, I do agree, it dwarfs the song. The song is pretty fucking hefty. It's 9 minutes, another 9 minutes. And I like the song. I think it has one of the darkest, ugliest riffs I've ever done. But this intro was just unmatched.
Also, I think this version is superior to the original version for sure. It was the right choice.
Infinitely. Streaming, you can find the original version like on
tacked on at the end.
Bonus tracks.
I think we should just open the podcast with this song and talk over.
If there was no copyright laws, I fucking definitely would. I love that.
If I was a psychopath, I would just like edit it and loop the pretty parts.
Yeah.
Like,
Just to like sit and meditate or study. Or just, yeah. I always forget how lengthy these intros are too, because like these are hefty fucking songs.
Oh yeah,
3-minute intros and stuff.
Technically, it's a long intro, but because it's like it is the intro. I'm like, man, it's not long enough.
Yeah. And also, it doesn't revisit this at all.
No.
The song itself is completely different. It's just, I'm just actually surprised this isn't just a standalone track. Yeah.
We're just gonna end up listen.
Just the whole intro.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that, honestly. And again, one guitar is hitting just one guitar is doing an actual melody. The other one's just like scraping it, hitting all kinds of long notes, just kind of hammering on it. And for some, like Fugazi, it just fucking comes across as really pretty. It's just strange.
Also, like, we're already in a completely different place.
That's the whole intro, and then it turns into this. But
it's not jarring at all how we ended up there either. It's just really nice. Like, it's almost like when you drive from the city into
the ghetto?
And into the ghetto. I was going to use like the mountains or the desert or something like that. But, that's more appropriate because
what it is, it's that bridge that connects Beverly Hills to that part of LA.
Oh yeah.
Have you driven that?
No.
So it's Beverly Hills, which is obviously Beverly Hills, and there's a long bridge. Not like there's no water under it, but it has like it's a bridge.
Yeah.
And then you get to the gnarliest, dirtiest part of LA. It's like,
Damn.
Oh, really? This is what separates the classes? Wow, life sucks. But another thing I'll say about the pacing of this one, which is why I like it so much. I think Human Interest is probably my least favorite track on the album. And it's the second to last song on an already pretty long album. And it's one of the shortest songs. It's like the most perfectly placed bad song. And it's not even a bad song. So it's like, it's just put in the right spot.
I would say it's more like the middle because there's like 4 tracks left after that.
What are you talking about?
Human Interest.
Human Interest is second to last song.
It's track
8.
And then you got Snooze. You got Hand Over Fist.
Those are bonus tracks.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know those were bonus tracks.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, album ends at Sinews, the first one.
Motherfucker. You know what? Even if they weren't, dude, fuck it. I love, in my head, in my canon, Bullet Train to Vegas is...
It's a great song. Great song.
I like the idea of the album closing not on a low, quiet. I like that going out on an 11, the way they came in.
Oh, because that's a fucking short song.
Dude.
That's a short ass song.
That's another, like, if that song doesn't get you amped, I don't know what will.
Oh, it's a great song. But the thing is, that does change things actually, because
it does change a lot of things.
Because when I first I've heard this album countless times, and I've heard it just the 9 tracks, the way it was intended. So when I listened to it with the bonus tracks, those bonus tracks do not sound like they were made for this album.
Oh,
like, it's definitely they do sound like they were
like
recorded.
Tacked on.
They do for sure.
Fair enough.
I like Sinews as a closing track for sure.
Because even like Hand Over Fist is just like, even the subject matter is like really fucking uncomfortable. And
God damn, what a good band.
What a good band. And they didn't like officially really break up. It was just Rocket was a bigger priority to Reese for some reason.
Wait, how many albums do they got? We're eventually going to cover them pretty soon, but
I would need to look that up, but Rocket just became a bigger priority to him, and they kind of like drifted off.
Mm-hmm.
And then 7 albums.
Okay. But I'm assuming they were pretty active during this time period as well.
Well, they put out 2 albums in 95. The next year.
Man, they're making it for lost time. Jesus.
Yeah. But so they got back together because I didn't know these things existed, but they have like these organ pavilions and parks.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess there's quite a few in San Diego.
Wait, what do you mean?
It's a like amphitheater in a public park, and they have a big crazy organ.
Really?
And they would do like shows for people back in the day. I don't know what the status is now. I've never
Probably full of homeless.
But anyways, they had restored one, and I don't know why. Something about it. He was like, "This be perfect for Jehu."
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you know, there was never any bad blood, still friends with all the guys. And he's like, I think we should do these shows with this huge organ.
Interesting.
And they all said yes. And I think it's interesting that Mark and Mike, the bass player, they hadn't played music since Jehu. Like Mark had to buy a drum kit because he
really with all of his millions of dollars. Is that what he bought it with?
Well, what I'm impressed by is his ability to pick it up again.
Yeah, you don't lose that muscle memory.
Yeah, the decades of not playing. And yeah, they played shows throughout 2016, and they were like, okay, that was a good run.
That's fun, and now we're done. Yeah, I respect the fucking shit out of that. Slint did the same thing, and that's one where I refuse to miss that reunion. It's like it was one of those things where I was like, I'll die if I miss this.
I saw them at Fuck Yeah Fest.
I saw them what's it, the Fonda, whatever, the one with the carpet.
Nice.
I think that might have been the first show to make me cry. I was right in the front row. I was like, oh my god, this is my childhood. But yeah, it's one. Yeah, if you don't miss those opportunities, you really can't.
No, or like if someone's old, go watch them live, because like Motorhead played so many shows.
Yeah.
I just thought Lemmy was going to live forever. I never saw Motorhead.
Dude, that's fucking heartbreaking. And that's the reason why I'm so happy that I got a chance to see Iggy Pop.
Oh,
thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
Because he's one of those where like, I know, like, I'm not super jazzed on his solo stuff. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like super inclined to go pay a bunch of money. But it's one of those guys you got to see. You have to before he dies. You have to.
When we were young men, we talked about Charles Bradley. And I think I said it, I'm going to repeat myself. Like instantly learning his story, I'm like, this man is not in good health. No. I need to see him live every time he's at LA. I think I saw him like 3 times. And then, he passed away, and I was upset because he seems like a good guy, but also like I did my due diligence.
Yeah.
And
episode 26, by the way, that episode needs more listens and views, please.
That episode is a victim of love.
It is, just like many others, well, like a few others, like strangely not popular episodes. Bands that we think are good.
Point of the story is I don't know what touring for bands is going to be like after all this. I don't know how many venues are going to make it out, but
big ones, I would say, almost exclusively the big ones.
But yeah, when it is safe and bands are touring again, please go, even if they're young rascals. Go.
Yeah, I've donated money to artists that I love, and like just buy their shit, man. Buy their merch, man.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to, if you don't want to listen to the record or you don't want to buy their records, just buy merch, something. Venmo them. I literally Venmoed artists like a bunch of money because like, please stay alive. I love you.
Yeah.
But
I don't know when we get, I'm just going to fuck it because it's a short episode. I saw Mastodon is on unemployment, and that is depressing because
they're fucking wildly successful. They're
for a metal band. For a metal band, they're huge.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck?
It's so upsetting. So they're fucking wildly successful again for a metal band. But then I look at all the other ones, like all the artists on Sargent House, which is a fucking amazing label. Like
they're not anywhere nearly as big.
Even close. Like, man, you look at like a Daughters or a Deaf Heaven, and like they're really popular, but boy, they don't look like they're doing too well. Like Deaf Heaven had to put out like a live album like recently. Okay. Just like to try and get something out of it. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Lingua Ignota struggling, and Daughters and all them. Chelsea Wolfe has been putting out a lot of promo stuff, a lot of like limited edition vinyls and merch and all that. Emma Ruth Rundle, again, like a great label. And I just feel like, fuck, man, I wish I could do more. Like, God
yeah, because also we're this, we only have finite money too.
I'm broke as fuck, dude. Like I'm dying here.
I've done it too. I've given Zill and Ardor money.
Yeah.
And so I don't have a lot of it, but when I can and I feel a little topped off, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I ordered that new Mastodon album. I ordered the new Idols album. I'm trying.
We're showing our fucking bias here because like, yeah, there's plenty of charities. Fuck all that bullshit. We do it to what helps us.
Well, yeah. I don't think it's fair because I think the arts are important, and it's an apples and oranges thing. Like if you have causes that are important to you, like by all means.
That's all. I mean, that's because you can like preach about like donating to whatever causes or charity, but like really the only thing that it's going to drive you to do it is if it really matters to you personally, and like arts is something that really fucking matters to us personally. Mm-hmm. Like I'm literally a fucking struggling artist, so like of course I'm going to feel like that bond. I'm like, oh man, I understand. Please. Dude, keep doing what you're doing.
I feel bad. I gotta buy some merch from some indie wrestlers next because I haven't really.
Your second love?
Yeah, I haven't really like supported too many indie wrestlers through this. Well, mostly because like half of them came out as scumbags, but we're way off topic.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck, dude. This is a podcast. If you go to a fucking radio show, go to a radio show. This is a podcast.
If you want a clear, concise, clean history of the band, that's what thrash theory is for.
Exactly. We're fucking idiots, dude. We're just talking bullshit. Also, I do believe that translate people like the honesty and the bullshit. And that's what I'm here for.
No, the podcast is a way more casual format.
Dude, when I hear people with like that perfect audio and the perfect format and the schedule, and here's what we're going to talk about today, and here
it's more like a radio program.
Yeah, that makes me fucking throw up, dude. That's not what I'm about. I don't even wear pants most of the time. That's not what I'm about. But
this man wasn't even wearing a shirt when I got here.
I was full on white trash mode when he got here. I had my boots on, but not laced, no shirt. But I mean, there's not much of a recap. Your favorite would be the first album.
Yep.
My favorite would be Yank Crime. But check out both albums. They're a great band.
It's 2 albums. They're long by album standards, but considering we've done bands with up to 13 albums, this is a
breeze.
Brisk,
did it one day.
Awesome walk through the park if you are a fan of heavy music. And
I would say even if you're a fan of Fugazi, this is like a very jagged and sharp Fugazi, very rough around the edges Fugazi.
They kind of live in the weird appeals to heavy music, but also like alternative.
Yeah. You're not going to find any growlers here. You're not going to find any like super heavy fuzzy guitars or anything like that. It's still clangy, still very kind of on the ear piercing side, but it's still also very intricate. But that wraps it up. Look at this, Alex. Guess how long this one?
45.
54.
54.
Inverse of those numbers. But thank you so much for listening and watching. If you want to support us, please subscribe on youtube.com/everyalbumever, as well as, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You could leave the 5-star rating reviews if you like. Don't go out of your way, though. We don't care. We just like that you're here. Follow me on Instagram at Pope Jesse Ventura and Alex at
Mother Puncture.
If you want to stay up to date with the artists that we're currently covering. Next week, I already forgot, but it's going to be cool.
Wait. Oh, what?
Oh, it's right.
Halloween next week.
Oh, it's right. It's Halloween.
Because
that's right.
Little inside baseball. We're building up the archives.
We're trying to build back our backlog. We've been hanging on by a fucking thread.
The things we do for you people.
You people. No, like literally record, then edit, and then throw it out the next day because like we ran out.
We've been on a real tight schedule, but we're building it up. Our next episode will be about Sam Hain. Take your pick. Yeah. I'm not going to be
either or.
Yeah.
So like last year Halloween we did
the Misfits.
And on that episode I believe I said every Halloween we got to do another Danzig band.
Yes.
And sure enough we're at another
here we are.
It came by quick. It came.
We didn't even really make we didn't even make a big deal about hitting a year. We just kind of said it and. I mean, that's how you get moved in business as usual.
I like that more, honestly. I like the podcast just being a part of life because that's honestly what, when I listen to, because I go through phases where I'll listen to like 2 or 3 podcasts religiously and then I'll drop off and find another 2 or 3 that I listen to religiously. But it's like, you want to feel like they're always going to be there. It's that like, that's your buddy who you never speak to, but they're always speaking to you. We're your buddy.
Your buddy. We're your comfort blanket.
Hell yeah. So don't feel like you're missing out if you miss an episode. Just find a band you like that we talk about and then hate us when we shit all over that band. But since that brings us to the end. Oh yeah, the Spotify playlist, of course. There's a link in the description of wherever listening or watching. It's going to be a little not playlisty.
It's just going to be Yank Crime because self-titled isn't streaming. But if self-titled ever gets thrown up, we'll
add it.
Yeah.
Because we didn't mention that when we were talking about the album. It was streaming until recently. I had it saved on my phone from like a year ago, maybe less. They recently took it off. Don't know why. I'm assuming something involving copyright. But
something.
It's a bummer. But there's just going to be Yank Crime on there. It doesn't matter. You can find it easily on YouTube or whatever. Or you can buy it. Support bands like we just keep saying over and over again.
Is it Swami Records?
Swami for Yank Crime. I don't know about the first one.
Well, no, Swami is John Reese's record label. So if you want to support this guy who's created a million different bands, check out Swami Records.
Swami re-released it, I believe.
Yeah, he probably got the rights back to it from Interscope. I forgot to say that.
Yeah.
Because it's not really a big deal that they were on Interscope.
Yeah, I'm curious. Actually, hold on a second. Yeah, I don't think he got the rights to the first album. I'm not seeing anything about Swami for the first album.
No, it's not. It's not.
That's interesting. I wonder what happened there. Interesting. If we were better at our jobs, we would know this, but it's hard when the band is not documented that much. I have no idea.
Anyways, we Lord of the Rings your asses.
You're goddamn right. So
into 20 different endings right now.
Last song. What are we gonna do?
You can have it.
I have, because we played a lot of songs, and I do have one in mind.
What were you thinking? First album, second album?
I'm thinking second album, and only because we kept talking about it and played nothing, and that is Do You Compute?
Excellent choice.
Hell yeah. So thank you so much for listening, everybody. See ya.